pledge allegiance to the flag to which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty, justice for all. Greet your neighbors.
Ready to go in the air?
Our invocation today will be given by Beth Weaver.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we're so grateful for the food that you blessed us with today and for those that have prepared it. We're thankful for our Wooster Rotary leaders and for Rotary leaders overall, and help us as individuals and as a club to be willing ambassadors to bring about peace and blessing to our community and to our world. We pray this humbly to your glory. Amen.
Thank you, Beth. Welcome, everybody. The temperature's a little better in here. For those of you that were here 2 weeks ago, it's pretty warm in here. We had a problem with the AC, so a lot better in here today. I hope everybody had enjoyed our holiday and the week off. I went to the fireworks. Hopefully some of you were able to go up there and see those. Our club did help put those on this year in terms of financial donation. And I thought they were really great. I too was one of those. I saw in the paper that some people thought that there was a problem at the end with the towering inferno. I was one of those who thought maybe there was a problem because I never seen it before. So for any of you saw that, that was sort of interesting. Just wanted to take a moment to thank those who have been helping with the flag project. So we kind of got through what I call the gauntlet. That's the first 3 holidays of the year: Memorial Day, Flag Day, July 4th. So I just wanted to take a moment, and there's so many people that have done a lot that I don't want to name names, but folks who helped with renewal calls in the spring to get people signed up, the spring pipe marking, folks who did Rotary routes, who actually put out flags, the installers, troubleshooters, just so many people helping out this year. We're gaining some ground there. We've had more volunteers this year, I think, than we had last year, so that's good. So thank you, everybody, for that. We'll be on a little break here until Patriot Day, September 11th. So a little bit of a break for that group. Today in history, so one thing you're always going to get from me, because I like to look at what happened in history today. July 12th, 1962, the Rolling Stones performed their first live concert at Marquee Club in London. So that was a today fact that kind of struck me. I just wanted to share that with you today. Also wanted to mention, if you saw the district newsletter, we had a little link in there for our project at Oak Hill Park. So Peggy Schmitz had written a nice little article about our project, and there was a link in the district newsletter that kind of went out with their communication. So I just wanted to thank Peggy and her team for that. We appreciate that. Also, quick thank you to those that have stepped up to fill some committee roles. So 2 weeks ago, I indicated there were still some vacant areas, and so I've had several people step up to help fill those, so I appreciate that. So I think we're in good shape for this year. I think that's all the announcements I have, so I'm going to turn it over to Secretary Lynn and the Secretary's report.
Thank you, President Terry. This is one of the best parts of being secretary, when we get to welcome our newest member. So Mariah Hinton, if you'll come forward. Mariah is an attorney with Equus Inc., and her sponsor is Sarah Baker. So welcome, Mariah. Thank you. And Shannon Waller has the traveling microphone. We have some guests today, and we will start with Sarah Baker. We'll follow that with past secretary and past president Tim Swift.
Thank you.
Welcome to all our guests. We do have a couple of announcements today. Robin LaRue Beasley and Samira Zimmerly will be talking about Meals with a Mission, and then Greg Long has a check presentation.
As all of you know, every year we have Meals with a Mission, and it's usually the last Monday in October. Well, this year we're switching it up. It's going to be a barbecue theme, and it will be August 16th. One thing I would like to know is, by a show of hands, who likes getting the tickets? You know, we have other ways of doing it. Courtney's going to explain that, but who would rather have tickets to pay for than to do it any other way? Okay, a few of you. All right, well, we will see to it that we do have some tickets then. Courtney, do you want to explain the other one?
Sure. We're also going to do Eventbrite. We did that in the past, so we're going to try that again this year. We've done it with other events here. So that is set up. We're going to finalize the setup on Facebook as well. So if you guys would follow us on Facebook, please go out and share it. People will be able to buy the tickets directly that way. And then obviously you guys will get the link probably through emails to buy tickets from through Eventbrite that way too.
And this year, we're actually going to do indoor and outdoor seating, so hopefully the weather cooperates. And we have Dan Pine set up to do live music. And if you have ever heard Dan play, he's amazing, so it'll be very enjoyable. And the menu is brisket, barbecue chicken, and the zoodle bowl, which was very popular last year. And then we are doing the watermelon cooler that we kind of stole from Beth at Habitat. So that was a popular one last year, and we'll have the TJ's Famous Brownies, and then also peach and blueberry cobbler. Is there any questions? August 16th.
And as you know, this is our biggest fundraiser. This replaced the auction and a couple of other things. So it's very important that we either buy our tickets and use them ourselves, or give them away, and if we could, sell extras. Thank you.
Yes, carryout will be available. We can set it up where we can ask for a name, additional details. Yes, if you put the name in, that'll help us, because last year we did have a little confusion. Monday, August 16th, from 4 to 8 at TJ's.
Yes, it will replace.
And that will replace the regular meeting that Monday.
Thank you to Samir, Courtney, and Robin for taking that on. Really looking forward to that event this year, and I think it's going to be a great success. We do have a check presentation, so I'd like to ask Greg Long and his guest to come, please.
Thank you. As you guys all know, 10% of the bottom line profit from the flag program goes to a veterans committee, and those dollars, which are about $5,000 to $6,000 a year, go for projects related to veterans affairs. And over the years, they've taken a lot of different courses. we do include first responders, police, fire, and we have done projects for them. We do the crisis prevention with NAMI and the suicide prevention. We've our last two projects, as you know, were our Gold Star Family and our Battlefield Cross out at the Veteran Cemetery. One of the projects we're bringing back that obviously did not happen last year happened to be the Veterans Appreciation Day at the Ashland Airport. We've sponsored them 3 other times in the past, and they applied for money, and we approved it. And so Pam Maury is here today as a representative of this all-volunteer committee who's we're going to give her the check and let her explain to you. You do have on your table, and I hope all of you, I win every year. It's a very nice event. She'll explain what they're going to be doing this year. So Pam, on behalf of Wooster Rotary.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, how many veterans do we have in the room besides Gray? Raise your hands. Okay, thank you all for your service. I think we'd like to give them a hand. This is our 8th in 9 years because of COVID last year. Annual Veterans Appreciation Day in Ashland County. It is in no way limited to folks in Ashland County, and through our building partnerships in 2019, we had, according to the Sheriff's Office, who counts our people and cars and does the parking, the stadies and the sheriffs are very involved in all of that at the Ashland County Airport. We had over 5,700 people. And given that we are all really ready to celebrate and honor our veterans again, and the fact that as social human beings, we do want to group, we expect to go over 6,000 people easily this year. So you have on your table a rundown of the events, the highlights. This was put together early on, but the times are still right on. We open the airport at 10. We have a opening ceremony at 11 where we have parachuters now bringing in flags, and the motorcycles from the Legion riders bring in American flags, and it just goes on from there. Once again, we're honored by the Ohio Department of Veterans Services, General Deborah Ashenhurst, the director, coming to do the opening at the ceremony. It is very apolitical. We do it pretty quickly. Melanie Miller always graces us with the national anthem. And then maybe we have a couple of other people with proclamations, but again, we're anxious to get onto the day at that point. We do an all veteran picture, and we do have a Facebook page, Ashland Veterans Appreciation. So you can see all of that jazz on that. This can be copied, and I'm understanding that your president is going to email it to each of you as well. So please reach out to family, friends, obviously veterans. But it's important to us that we're also educating people about service life, because it truly is a calling. And children are welcome at this event. It is entirely family friendly all day. We will have a Huey aircraft this year from Yankee Air Museum. They have brought us planes before. They are a nonprofit out of Belleville, Michigan. Really, I think all veterans themselves. And that plane will fly 9 people with 3 pilots 4 times an hour when we're not in the opening ceremony. So you have an opportunity, should you ever have wanted to, or should you have ever flown on a Huey and want to do it again, they will have sign up and everything going on. They bring a land crew and their pilots with them. So that's this year's one of the main features. And that's sponsored by VFW Post 1067 in Ashland with Simonson Construction. So from that, there are other planes, and I kind of joke and say trains and automobiles, but it's everything you can think of, equipment from whatever the military sends us that day. We generally luck out and get a Chinook out of the Canton-Akron area, which, you know, is quite a spectacle and a wonderful thing to have as a static display, should it be able to come again this year, and we're hoping it will. And then we have a free meal for everyone in attendance from right after the Veterans Day picture, which follows our opening ceremony, till we run out of about 2,500 hot dogs and hamburgers. We usually feed somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 people. So food trucks are out there all day, all kinds of facilities that anyone might need. We bring veterans out of Sandusky, out of the Sandusky Veterans Home, and They are generally handicapped individuals, so we have clubs and organizations that sign up to help walk those folks around, make sure they're in the shade, make sure they're hearing the entertainment they want to hear, or seeing the planes they want to see. So join us at the USO show. Matt Young is going to kick that off. If you know him from Loudonville, he's on the committee. Very talented, diverse singer. And then the Rat Pack out of Cleveland with Stan Davis, who happens to have grown up in Ashland. Then we follow that with, this will be our largest fireworks display we've ever done. We have several donors that that's their thing, and I never want to deny anybody their thing. So anyway, please join us, bring your family, bring your friends, and let other people know about it. The billboards from Lind Media will go from Richland County, Ashland County, and Duane this year. So hopefully you'll see a lot of publicity. And thank you again, because it does take a lot of money to do the infrastructure of the day. Not just to sponsor something individually, but it's an expensive day for us, but well worth it. So thank you again for partnering with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg and Pam. We've been able to do some really good things with the funds that we set aside from the flag projects for veterans. So I really appreciate Greg's leadership in that committee. Before I forget, I want to remind you that the district governor has brought pins with him today, and we set those out at the table, so make sure you take those with you. I want to welcome all of our guests here today. Ben, Natalie, Nick, we hope you enjoy the program today and the fellowship with Wooster Rotary. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Phil Mariella to introduce our district governor.
Thank you, President Terry. Before I introduce our district governor, I just want to tell you that he has brought with him some distinguished guests today. He will introduce them in a few minutes. It is really a pleasure and an honor for me to introduce our district governor, Steve Wilder, from the Rotary Club of North Canton. Steve has been a Rotarian since 1984. He is currently the mayor of North Canton, elected in 2019 after retiring from a distinguished career in law enforcement. Steve earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice Studies from Kent State University and a Master's in Criminal Justice Administration from Pittman University. He began his law enforcement career in 1981 as an unpaid auxiliary officer with the city of North Canton, which led to him hiring on as a full-time patrolman 2 years later. He was promoted to lieutenant in 1996 and chief of police in 2011. For Steve, community is of prime importance. He has been inducted into the Plain Township Local Schools Foundation and Alumni Association Hall of Distinction. He achieved 2 pretty prestigious scouting awards, the Silver Antelope Award and the Cliff Doppelman Award, which is also tied to Rotary. He has a lifetime membership with the North Canton JCs and a 2014 Service Appreciation Award from North Canton Chamber of Commerce. Steve was a founding member of the Rotary Club of Plain Township in 1984, and he was president of that club in 1992-93. He joined the Rotary Club of North Canton in 2010. Steve and his wife Mary have been married for 41 years. Steve doesn't know I'm going to tell you this, but I was fortunate to be on the district nominating committee a few years ago when we selected Steve to be our governor for 2021-22. There are always 4 people on that nominating committee from the 4 different divisions in our district. We had 3 very good candidates that day. And after the second candidate just was had every qualification you could ever want. That person walked out of the room and we looked at each other and said, well, we're done. This is a done deal. This is going to be our next governor. Well, the third person that day was Steve. And we interviewed Steve, and when he left, we were all shocked that we didn't think it could get any better. So Steve, I'm telling you this because we have high expectations for you. It's a real pleasure for me. Please stand and give a warm Wooster Rotary welcome to District Governor Steve Riley.
Boy, the way he was talking, you could hear a pin drop. I didn't expect that. But thank you very much. And for our Zoom members, welcome. Distinguished guests, of course. And, you know, I'm going to go through this. I have some comments to make. They're in no particular order, so pay attention, and we'll see where it takes me. But I'll have a message near the end. So I'm trying to take notes as things are happening right here. And first of all, I want to introduce the other two people in our administration. Michelle Charles is the past president of Canton Rotary Club. Michelle is our district governor-elect. She'll be following me and working with Mr. Greg Long. And Rich Turpak, past president of Plain Township Rotary. He's our district governor nominee. He'll be following Michelle. So I brought them along, and they said, actually, they wanted to come before I even asked them. So that was good. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to check them off. Banner exchange. President Terry, when I was asking for information on the president-elect, Terry Snoddy was very quick to respond to me that he's the new president here. So I want to present you with the governor's banner. It has Shekar Martha, our 2021 president, Rotary International, and my name and the district governor and 6650. Again, what our Rotary thing served to change lives. That's for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yep.
I also have our club's banner for you today.
Excellent.
Appreciation.
Excellent. Appreciate it. You know, some traditions just don't go away. And, you know, banners are a cool thing. I still like that. I said hello to our Zoom members. Welcome again to our new guests and our new member back there. You're joining a wonderful worldwide organization. And I have a question. Was anybody at the Rolling Stones concert in 1962? Because that is important. Okay, nobody was there, Terry. Okay, but that was still good. I'd like to know that. And the other thing is, when I've been traveling, is there a certain heckler in the group? Most clubs I've gone to, there's always one heckler. So look, everybody's looking around. I just want to know where my target is. It's that table back there, of course. The guy in the red shirt in the back. Okay, all right. I know where the heckler is, so I can check that off my list. And really, first of all, congratulations to the members of the club who have accepted a leadership position. Again, Terry Snoddy, our president, Greg Long, our president-elect. Greg and I go back about 40 years, and I'll just leave it at that. Our travels together. So Greg, thank you very much. And you're still treasurer too. They don't know what to do with you, do they? After all these years, okay, very good. And Lynn Moba, our secretary, thank you very much. And of course, past president Justin Sternum, thank you very much for your service, Justin. And you got us through one heck of a year. And again, good luck with all the club directors and committee people. You all have a fine, I looked through your list off your webpage, and you've got so much covered. And your 100th anniversary, Chairman, is right here on my left. I'd like to just share a little bit of historical register of past district governors. And if we go back in our district, I'm just going to go through some things. Pay attention if you want. Look at your cell phone if you don't find it interesting. We were at first District 7, and that started in 1915. Then we became District 10 in 1918, District 21 in 1922. Let's see, District 152, 1937, District 229, 1949, and then District 223, and that started in 1955. And Wooster had their first district governor Amos R. Buckman, 1959 to 1960. And then we became 665, and that was started in 1957. And our district governor at that time, in 1978 to 1979, was Lowell B. Bourne. Is that correct? Bournes? Bournes, thank you. He was around. Then we became 6650 in 1991. And in 1995 and 1996, we had Leonard E. Schnell. And in 2014, 2015, this fine gentleman next to me, Phil Mariola. Just a little history on the district governors from Wooster. Thank you very much for your dedication and service to the district. I want to congratulate you on your district local grant approval of $3,500 for your college and high school programs. So you got that approved. I want to give a shout out to a few things here that I remember from my journeys here to Worcester. It was about almost a year ago, I came to visit the Chamber of Commerce. I was interested in your Main Street streetscape and what you did in the development of your downtown. And I was trying to take some ideas back to North Canton to see how we could have a little sense of look that Worcester has in their square and in their downtown. And I had a very warm welcome at your chamber at that time. I don't know if that young lady was involved with that or not from the Main Street Chamber. Janet Rick, the one in black. That's who I met right there. There you are. Thank you very much. You're just being so quiet. Boy, come back over here. Can you remember Freelanders? He used to come over here for all my Boy Scout stuff, all my hats and clothing and things like that. I kind of miss that. Boy, Rubbermaid, what a shame when we lost them. Rubbermaid was my father-in-law's first customer when he had a plastics company in Canton. And Stan Galt and him had many conversations together. And of course, Wooster Brush. Thank goodness they're still here and producing and keeping a workforce. I used to run errands for my father from his, he had a plumbing and heating wholesale company, Strong Island Hammond Plumbing and Heating in Canton. And if there had to be a quick delivery and the truck was somewhere else, he would, Steve, I'll give you the directions, go to Wooster Brush, go to Rubbermaid, and I'd be dropping off some hardware for those companies. One question, did the fairgrounds flood? Oh, okay, all right, they're very good. I didn't get that far, west. And congratulations on your flag program. We started ours several years ago. We're only at 650. You're at 2,000. God bless you. And I like the way that you earmarked that first 10% for designated giving. So thank you very much for that. And it's proved well. It's fun to go through our district and see flags from so many different Rotary clubs. I looked at is it Ray Lessie, your club historian? Is Ray here? Lacey? He had to leave. God bless him. You've got page after page after page of your history here. And I think that's just marvelous that you've been able to document all that. Fantastic job on that. And I found a spot there in 1992 and 1993 when I was president of the Plain Township Rotary Club. And Jim Myers, he and I were co-presidents that year. That was pretty cool. I want to give you congratulations and a shout out. Rotary has all kinds of facts and figures. If you have a My Rotary account, okay, if you can get in there. But I was looking at the club recognition summary and all-time giving as of 11 July 2021, this club, all-time giving, $978,857. Give yourselves a round of applause, really. Congratulations. Paul Harris Fellows, polio costs, my goodness, $978,850,000. Outstanding. One club that knows how to give. Now, the other thing is, I'm going to share with you, Terry, is this. There's also another little thing called My Rotary Account status. This handy, beautiful graph here, and it just kind of breaks it down as to how many of your members are actually have a My Rotary account, because Rotary likes to have you to have a My Rotary. And so if I can impose upon you and your members, because if right now Worcester has 18.2% of their members have a Rotary account, 81% don't. So Mr. Terry, president. Here is the list of everybody that has a Y and an N next to their name, okay? And so if you want to give them any guidance, it's really easy, to log in and have a Rotary account. There's a world of knowledge in there, and you'll be surprised at what you can find in there to help you out in whether it's your committee or your position. You are registered. Okay, all right. So I'm leaving that challenge for everybody to try to have my Rotary account. And so without further ado, I'd just like to share a few thoughts, if you don't mind. I think we all can agree that we've undergone a multitude of experiences, emotions, and life challenges and sacrifices in responding to the effects of COVID-19. Our journey together has been long and exhausting. We truly are living through a historic time for the world, our country, our state, city, and for our families. The vaccines have arrived and are being allocated as supplies are delivered to our health departments, hospitals, and clinics and pharmacies. To me, this is great news, as they are all considered effective in combating the coronavirus. As we look forward to 2021, our thinking does not have to be limited to the end of this year. I'm also thinking about what we'll be doing in 2022, 2023, 2024, and beyond. We cannot see the future, but we can steer ourselves where we want to go. And I think it's important for our clubs to rebuild, reflect, revitalize, and reinforce for the present and for the future. There's a popular adage often attributed to Ben Franklin, the father of time management. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And planning is essential in achieving success in all areas of life, including our government, businesses, educational communities, and for our residents, and especially for Rotary as our clubs strive to become better. I have no doubt that you have plans for the future, and what I heard already just briefly this morning. No matter great or small, have a plan. Let's just move our Rotary forward. Whatever Rotary may mean to us, to the world, it will be known by the results it achieves. A quote by Paul Harris in 1914. How fortunate we are to belong to an international organization where our membership is made up of people who share a passion for commitment to enhancing communities and improving lives throughout the world. Our membership changes lives locally and connect with other clubs to work on international projects that address today's most pressing challenges and issues. Being a Rotarian is an opportunity to take action and to make a difference. It brings us personal rewards and lifelong friendships in the process. I believe that could be witnessed right here with the fabric of Wayne County and the city of Wooster. For over a century, our members have been serving to change lives and make their lives better and stronger. That is a theme in 2021, 2022, Rotary theme. The message Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta is challenging us today: serve to change lives. Now, RI President Shekhar Mehta is a member of the Rotary Club of Calcutta, Mahanagar, West Bengal, India. It was his involvement in Rotary service projects that helped, and I quote, rekindled the spark within me to look beyond myself and embrace humanity. He continues and says, service became a way of life for me, and I, like many others, adopted the guiding philosophy that service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. And I want to be a good tenant of this earth. Well, Rotary most certainly has changed since 1905. When Gustav Lohr, Sylvester Scheel, Hiram Shorey, and Paul Harris, the first four Rotarians who got together in Chicago to exchange ideas and their professional life experiences. Sometimes, if I look back in your history, we'll know who those first few individuals were for this club and what it would have been like to have been on a fly on the wall to hear what they had to say and what they were doing and thinking where they were going to be in 100 years, as this club is getting ready to celebrate or have celebrating a century of service. So out of their meetings, they developed avenues of service. Who would have thought that they were guiding us to seek opportunities of service above self and serving to change lives through club, vocational, community, international, and youth service. Folks, these areas of service allows us to focus our energy, efforts, and capital to work in the course of local, district, and global grants as we expand our service in eradicating polio, promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, supporting education, striving to eliminate illiteracy, saving mothers and children, protecting the environment, disaster relief and response, and of course, growing our local economies. Folks, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. If you're not familiar with that, that is the mission statement for Rotary International. I adopted that as part of my Rotary, as part of my mission statement for my own city. I just tweaked it a little bit, but what a message it has. Let us work together to reconnect our club memberships and for ourselves and for in our communities. Re-engagement, once again, let's get people involved. I know we've been away for a while, but let's take this time to get involved again in our clubs. Expand our reach and growing membership with integrity and diversity, and increase our ability to adapt to these ever-changing times and ever-changing requests of our local and world communities. Let us work together and chart a path forward with a vision of optimism, a path that leads to healing, hopefulness, to reconnecting with each other, and to the anticipation of brighter days ahead. In closing, I just want to share this message with you. It matters not what tools we use, but that we use them well. For some must write and some must print, while others buy and sell. And some must preach and some must pray and some must plot and plan. But this rule holds true for one and all. Just do the best you can. A lawyer and historian, or Rotarian and lawyer and historian, Henry C. Clausen, he was an assistant United States attorney from San Francisco. He wrote an 800-page report on the Army Board's Pearl Harbor investigation. Said success in life depends primarily on these things: discovery of who you are, what you do best, and where you're going. Whatever Rotary means to us, the world, it will be known by the results we achieve. Folks, all we can do is the best that we can and serving to change lives. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve Rotary International as 6650 governor for the term of 2021 and 2022. When I first was approached by and interviewed by Phil and his team, I wasn't really sure what I was getting involved in, okay? But what I found out through this journey is my way to give back to Rotary. And it's an honor to serve as the district governor. And I've been asked a few times, how do I want to be known in my legacy, whether it's through law enforcement or as mayor or as district governor. And being speechless for a little bit, I just came back to something. I know this may sound very trite to you, but it's something I learned as a young boy. It just comes back to 8 words. On my honor, I will do my best. I look at this passage here, folks, all we can do is do our best. And I just want to be known that, you know what, as a Rotarian, as a Wooster Club, you know what, let us be known that we did our best to serve humanity and our communities, our families, our businesses in the best way that we can. So thank you for your time and attention. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions if you'd like. But otherwise, thank you. I wish you all the best. And I hope I won't be a stranger and I'll be able to come back over here and visit my west end of the district. So thank you. Are there any questions? Law enforcement too. I just want you to know, I forgot to thank the cooks. Really got to thank the cooks. And it was a policeman's dream back there when you saw all the pastries. And so I'll take the hit on that, okay?
So thank you, Steve. An appreciation of your time here, and we have one for Michelle and Rich as well.
Oh, my goodness.
This is our rendition of the Rotary wheel with the four-way test on the back, and they're made locally at the village.
How cool is that? Is that the, was that the old boys? I remember up by Smithville. Very good. Thank you so much. What a pleasant surprise. Thank you, folks. Very humbled to receive this for our team.
Well, thank you, Steve. I know at the district conference in Boardman, Steve and I caught up at one of the breaks and talking about the upcoming year. And I wanted to make sure that he had some specific goals in mind that we sort of aligned. And when we talked, it was pretty clear right from the start that we were sort of on the same page, that after this past year, this is just going to be a year to re-engage and reconnect. So we appreciate that. Thank you to our guests. Hope you enjoyed the program today, and I hope that we'll see you back again soon. A couple of reminders. So next week, I'll take a little flack for this already. Justin will be filling in for me. I actually have 2 conflicts this summer, which are work related, which I shouldn't have after this. So Justin will be filling in for me next week. Our speaker next week is Bethia Burke, the president of the Fund for Economic Future. And I also wanted to just say that the week after that, I'm really looking forward. This is the time of the year that we usually do our youth exchange rebounders that present. And obviously, we didn't have any rebounders this year because we didn't have an exchange going out. But we're going to have a couple of club members who went on youth exchange. So Adam Briggs and Ray Lisey will be talking about their experiences in youth exchange. So I'm really looking forward to that. Make sure that you're all here for that. So with that, I think we will adjourn. Thank you. Have a good week.